We live, baby. We live. What's up, everybody? What's up, Chi-Town? Where I hail from? Checking in. They tell me I'm supposed to have music and do all this, buffoonery and all that, but I ain't doing none of that. Shout out Sherman the Man. Shout out Walla Cam. Shout out Lil Keisha out here doing your thing. I see you. I see, you know what I'm saying? The new school, female hip hop been doing her thing, but she's still new school. You know what I'm saying? Versus Shauna, who been doing her thing for a minute. Legendary cats come out of Chicago, cold hard. You know what I'm saying? Even though he be hating on me, won't get on the show. I keep calling me, man. I don't even understand it, man. But I'm still trying to get Cold Hard on the Peep Game Show. You did. Color. I see you. Color, another cat. Color One from Chicago. He been you know what I'm saying, underrated for a long time. And a lot of cats don't give him the props that he deserved for laying down a lot of the things that he didn't lay down. But it's all good, you did. You know, whole crucial conflict, do or die, you know what I'm saying? West Side, Twist. I ain't really had no. I don't remember Twist being out west, but that might be because he might have been more about a holy city. But I ain't really had no relationship with Twist growing up. But like Cole, you know what I'm saying, Corey, through JD Walker, I had a real relationship with him. And AK and Nard to do or die. We live right behind each other. My grandmama porch, I used to look at they building. I think they ended up own eventually, you know what I'm saying? But we grew up like within not even a block. It's less than a block, you know, and JJ and all them, they was a dance crew. Do or that's a lot of people don't know. They started out as a dance crew, and they used to beat all the rappers at this club called Porsche's on Pulaski. They used to do the Gong Show, right? And every week, Do or Die come through there and wreck that mug, AK them and all. They was like, they used to could dance, and like they was performers, you know what I'm saying? Before they hit that big record, Po Pimp, they had really honed their performance and understood performance and reacted to the crowd, cause you know what I'm saying, Chicago ain't no easy crowd. You know what I'm saying? They looking for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So they was going to the Gong Show every week at Porsche's, and they was wrecking them, right? And then the rappers would be mad, like JD, all them cats, even though JD was a legend at Porsche's in them days, JD Walker. But Do or Die just then was just had this certain thing, and that's before they was even rapping. That's when they was the dance crew. Then they came back later and dropped that monster on their neck called Po Pimp. You did, which is a whole nother story. I'd love to get them on the show to talk about that. They used to bring me a lot of their music. I sure wish they'd have brought me that one, boy. They did not bring me that one. I remember, boy. That's when Bobby Lewis was on tour with Immature. I think about things according to what car I was driving at the time, and I was driving a 91 Park Avenue with Vogue tires and 5-star AZ wheels on it. Me and my man Twinkle from the Village. What up, Twan? Shout out Antoine Winham. We used to rotate, man. That's my ace right there. You know what I'm saying? And I think about things in the time frame, and I remember when that record was out, Bobby Lewis was playing drums for Immature. They was on tour. And it was wild because I remember we was at Busch Gardens. And what's Busch Gardens? Like St. Louis. Something. I remember driving my Park Avenue backstage at Busch Gardens, parking backstage. And that's the first time I had actually encountered Outkast and met. But that's before I realized my cousin was DJ Swift, the DJ for Outkast, right? I was already rotating with him, so it's crazy how the universe go. I ain't found out that me and Swift was some kin until like 10, 15 years later, man. You know what I'm saying? But once again, that was a whole nother story. So I think about them days and folks on the car I was driving, it just make me reminisce about different stuff. So I said all that to say, you see, I brought it to a Bobby Lewis, but this video is about Frame Lewis. Frame is, I might get in trouble for talking about Frame, so I got to be careful with talking about Frame because I'm going to preface this with Frame is a serious man of respect, and he is to be respected, you did, in my opinion. I mean that. He has taught me so much about life and music and you know, a person can be close to you in age but still be a big brother for real. Him and Bobby Lewis is two cats that really taught me that because we were so different in the ways that we grew up. And from where I came from on the west side, then I come out there on the south side, you know what I'm saying? They live next door to Jesse Jackson, you know what I'm saying? And now I got that whole thing going on, and my family, was into media, so my mom had those relationships as well. So it was just real interesting how it ended up being like a secular thing. But at that time, it was new. It was wild, man. It was wild. That was a wild time. Like I said, we went to the Chicago Academy for the Arts. That was after my very strict days at Providence St. Mel. Okay. Shout out Simeon Norfleet and McCoy Timms and all them people, Paul John Adams III. St. Mel was a very strict environment. You step on the grass, you get fined. Ain't no cutting school. If you're not at school, they calling your mama by 8:30. So you can believe that it's up. It's up there. Mr. Adams don't play no games. Don't nobody even try him because they just don't. Like, if you know the history, they don't even play with Mr. Adams. So we was in school every day. And so when I came from Providence St. Mel going to the academy, first day I'm seeing people on the bridge. They smoking. It's an open campus, middle of downtown Chicago. They smoking squares, God knows what else. People in tie-dye, t-shirts, toe, ain't got no shoes on. My man, Bill Curtis, love you, Bill. He was a good friend and a man of respect for Chicago, newscaster on CBS for a very long time. I went to school with his son, Scott Curtis, who had challenges with some things in life. And unfortunately, we lost Scott, to the battle, that a lot of us, deal with, and a lot of people deal with allegedly substance abuse, you did. And but I remember, Scott Curtis was there. He's wearing tie-dye, played the classical guitar, and Kenya Hathaway, her father was Donnie Hathaway, you hear his record throughout the holidays every year. And this Christmas was one of his biggest records, but he was truly a legendary, musician and entertainer. And all those things truly rubbed off on his daughters. Kenya Hathaway, who was my homie, right? That's my dog right there, Kenya. We got stories together. But then Layla Hathaway is her older sister, and she went to school with Bobby Lewis, who was my friend, but she went to school with Frayne Lewis. Now, Frayne and Layla had graduated, I think, the year before I got there. So I didn't really have a relationship with Layla, but I had a relationship with Kenya. That was my dog, right? So like I said all that to say, from Providence St. Mel, straight strict, academic, you know what I'm saying? And they're not playing about it, and they sending kids to college scholarships like they legendary with it. But then to go to the academy where it's all about the arts and that whole thing, it was a whole different vibe, right? So now I'm in here like, okay, right, you did. So I'm in this whole piece, and eventually I got to know a few people. And like I said, the first day I went to school, I remember seeing Jesse James, and he had on a dress. I remember just different cats, we introduced ourselves, and it was wild, man. But just hugely talented kids. I went to school with Laura Flynn Boyle. She did the movie like Men in Black and things like that. I know she was kicking it with Jack Nicholson for a minute, but Laura was a hugely talented individual. You did. So like I went to school with not only superstars. I literally went to school with superstars. That's actually funny. Like that just hit me. You know what I'm saying? That people try to act like they don't understand what it is, but it is what it is. Duh. So like here I come from out west. Then I got Ramsey Lewis, right? A huge influence. I'm in school with his sons, Bobby and Frayne, and which brings me to the title of this video, because like I told you, I met Bob. So eventually we kicking it. Bob Lewis took me out this wing. He invited me over to the crib. I met Ramsey. Eventually I'm going to Christmas with him. And I'm really playing my part because I'm so appreciative of it that I ain't finna let nothing blow this lick for me. Because in Chicago, I don't know nobody else really in music on this level. And I'm knowing this is Buddy. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm really appreciative of this situation. So I just always have treated it like that, right? So we end up at a party. I don't know how, because academy parties were tripped out because remember these was real rich like little white kids too, because like the tuition was something crazy like $15,000, $20,000 a year, and that was back in the 80s, right? Just something crazy, right? Okay. So our parents paid for us to go to this high school. So we're like on a whole different, so we're just bugged out every day. We live spoiled rich kids, and we're making music. We at school 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the evening. Like it's just a whole different vibe from Providence St. Man, right? So eventually, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting my little stats up and we start hanging out, going to parties, right? I remember going to a party up north with some kids from my school. And some kind of way I got stranded up there because we were just wild. I ain't thinking about no plan. All I know I'm riding with the gang. So I get up there to all the way up in Evanston right now. Mind you, I don't know. There's something else that was tripped out. During this time, it was wild because I some kind of way, like, either I got on my mama nerve or blew her to the point where she had sent me to go stay with my father for a while just to show me, you know what I'm saying? Because see, at that point, my mama was doing very well in life, riding Lexus. When Lexus first came out, she whatever leasing cars for her employees, and I'm riding slick like it was nothing at that point. She had really done what she set out to do for real. She had more than proved her point, right? But I remember being in school with these kids, and we was at a party one night way up north at Evanston, and some kind of way I got stranded, and I ain't had no ride home, right? I rode with somebody up there, and I had heard about this dude, Frayne Lewis, for a minute, right? Because Frayne on the low was like a legend. No, hold on. Let me back it up. Not a legend, because this is on high school level now. Okay, remember we was in high school because some of the things that just because of the Lewis's stature and who they were in the community because of their dad and their talent and just and their frame was a different kind of cat. I love him, right? So let me tell you about the first time I met Frank. Frank, don't be mad. I'm telling you, I got to tell it. We're at a party. I don't know what we're doing. We was wild up in Evanston. And I'm like, man, I'm stranded, man, bro. I need to ride home, man. And at this time, like I said, for some reason, I was living not too far from their house. Now, mind you, they live in a big ass crazy crib next door to Jesse Jackson. They got curved driveways and shit with cars and wood and just lawns and just massive, you know, saying, oh my goodness, just beautiful crib, right? But I live at this time because I guess I made my mama mad. She had sent me to live with my daddy who lived out south at that time, but he was in the hood, Joe. So like now, this is another one of my hood experiences, man, right? Which I got a story about that later too. But at that time, I'm living, which wasn't too far from where the Lewises them lived, where Frayne had to go that night, right? But it was in a dangerous ass hood though, right? Because it was about 7, 8, 10, 12 minutes, like, you know, a little bit further. And it was a little wild little area, right? Nonetheless, I'm here. We stranded. How you going? I remember trying to get him to give me a ride home, trying to get him to give me a ride home. And I remember talking to him. Not only did I had to beg because I'm stuck in Evanston. Y'all don't understand how Chicago works. I'm in high school. I'm stuck in Evanston. I'm like, I'm spoiled. I don't even know nothing about no bus, nothing like that. Okay, here we go. I could call Sureway, but really, I'm just trying to get back. I get waited. Man, let me just get a ride, man. It ain't that far, man. I remember the first words he said to me that I ever remember Frayne ever saying to me, and it just ring in my head to this day. He told me, dude, you're giving up all your cash. To this day, them is some of the most gangster words anybody has ever spoken to me because he meant it. And I think he had on like a parachute suit when he said it. Fly. And because he knew, like, this one let me know how much of a shark Frayne was in the game. He saw blood in the water. Oh, yeah, okay. He don't know me. You Bobby friend. Look, if you want to ride with me. The first words he told me was, dude, you're giving up all your cash. And let me tell you something. He wasn't lying either. Because Evanston far as hell from where I live, and I gave him all my cash so I could get a room back to the south side. I definitely gave up all my cash that night. And I remember it was tripped out too, because wonder was he driving Benz or something like Audi, whatever he was driving at the time. One of the Volvos. Ain't no telling, man. We was wild. I remember feeling like it was weird because I'm like thinking on a ride to where we finna drop me off at. Because this over there by like little Herbo and them area over there, over east. Like it's wild over there on 79th Escanaba, 8033 South Escanaba. That's the house my father bought when him and my mom broke up. Now, mind you, I'm now in Oak Park, River Forest. We in Elmwood Park, big house, patio, like chilling. You know what I'm saying? And then now I'm acting a fool, so my mama want to prove a point. She gonna go send me to live with Buddy. I'm outside on 80th and Escanaba, G. Oh my God. Man. So Frame had to take me over there. So he dropped me off. Cool. And I remember that night because on the way there, I was thinking to myself, like, damn, he finna drop me off in the hood. I ain't gonna say it was I was embarrassed, but you know how you know your first impressions is everything. So I think from that, I am hood, but I think from the first time he dropped me off, where he dropped me off at, it made me appear a lot more hood than I actually was. Cause I'm hood, but then I'm not quite. Well, I guess whatever, man. Them niggas over there, wow, they wow. Okay. So I gave him all my cash, gave him a ride on. And years later, you know what I'm saying? Me and Frame would do amazing things together. I mean, the Lewises opened up so many doors for me, you know, it's just unreal when I really look at all the stuff that I really did. And I was just a punk kid, G. They did not have to put up with me. And I had like zero humility in those days. I don't even know why they put up with me. That couldn't have been nothing but love. This family got a whole music legacy. Their mother, Geraldine, Mama Lewis, loved me. You know what I'm saying? Like I speak on these things because, you know, once again, my podcast is my podcast, and I can talk about what I want to talk about. But I want my sons to understand the history of what made their dad. That's what this podcast is about. I want them to peep game first, and if the rest of the world can get something from it, cool too. You know what I'm saying? But this story is interesting because I tell people all the time, you can't pick your relatives, but you could pick your family. And I'm gonna tell you, the Densons and the Lewises and the Densons picked each other and decided we was gonna be each other's families. And I don't know how or when it happened, but it did happen, and we have been true to it. You know what I'm saying? And I have been truly blessed from those relationships and those things that I learned in the hours and days in the top recording studios learning that stuff because I was really learning it. Like I didn't realize it at the time, especially when I was in the studio with Kevin Lewis and was learning this stuff. And he was a master on so many levels, man. R.I.P. Kev. Meeting cats like Vince Lawrence and just hanging out with these cats. Vince Lawrence, the cats that, you know, the Chose a Few Picnic. You know, he one of the main cats on that, one of the legendary house dudes in Chicago, one of the originators of that game for real. A lot of people talk about it, but he was truly like one of the like real, if not the like one of the first guys on the ground with it, with that house movement. Y'all will hear about him in time too. But just meeting those people, because remember I was from out west. I was on Troy Street, so I knew, man, hustlers and cats like that, and I would know business people from my mama, but I was really spending most of my time on Troy Street. You know what I'm saying? After school, and like so, I wasn't really cultivating the music side. My mama bought me a keyboard and all that. I played trumpet in grammar school, and Providence St. Mel. When Mr. Lorenz was with me, it started to open up um, that door. And if you don't know who Mr. Lorenz is, you got to go back to the first video where I was talking about Mr. Lorenz, who was the music director for Albert King, who was the first person to push me out on stage and say, "Boy, go and do your thing." And it was a life-changing day. Life has never been the same since then. But I'm sitting here because sometimes it's hard to even find the words, man. Because as we was doing it, I wasn't doing it in a way where I was doing it for the music relationships. I was just doing it because they were really a great family. And I'm learning what I love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. You know, and I don't want to never make it seem like my mama didn't, provide resources for me, because she did. She, music classes and instruments and all that. But being with Ramsey Lewis and his family and that legacy and the Grammys on the piano and being in that world and the gold plaques on the wall and seeing Ram, and now I'm hanging out backstage, and eventually we got to open up for him when I was 14 years old. I'll never forget that, opening up for Ramsey Lewis when I was a kid. It was life changing, and it showed me a lot of things. It showed me that I loved the music and the arts world and creativity. It didn't turn out that I wanted to be an artist, though. I'm really more on the business side, and that's really the way I wanted to do it, and use my talents in more ways than just the music, because creativity transcends all over everything you do, from the boardroom to, whatever you do. I'll be at the gig at BMW and over there in South Bay, and man, please, I use my creativity all day. I love it, because you got to make life. Life is about fun. You know what I'm saying? Take life serious. Don't take yourself too serious, though. So yeah, man, that's my little boring video story for the night. Like I said, Kingston and Kylan. That's what really who this for. I just wanted to put that together so y'all know when y'all hear about Uncle Frank how we actually met. That's how I met Uncle Frank. Then later on in life, I'll tell you how, like, me and Frank ended up doing some amazing stuff. The places the Lewises took me, like, I look back on it now, and when you young and silly, you think you're doing something, but then when you reminisce and like think about the way it was set up and the places I was only going in places because of the legacy of Ramsey Lewis and the relationships that I had built with them, and they allowed me access. Also due to my talent. Now, don't get it twisted. I was doing what I do, and I was bringing a whole lot to the table because I'm still dancing. However, that did not make me not understand the importance of protecting that relationship and understanding who I was dealing with. To that day and now, I still protect that. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning stuff now, boy. Man. So, like I said, this is the Peep Game Show. Y'all checking out on XM HBCU 142. And subscribe, like the channel, the Peep Game Show. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get a lot of foolishness over here. I'm just talking to the people. Like I said, the main goal of my YouTube is to be able to talk to my sons, and I'm gonna capture a lot of culture, document a lot of Chicago history, music history. Because believe me, I'm going somewhere with this. You could think I'm not if you want to. I'm definitely going somewhere with all this. What I'm doing, I'm very strategic about the way that I'm moving, and I want to lay this down because there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts going on in my life right now, and I want to make sure that this is documented, and I don't have no other way of doing it. So every now and then I just sit down, put it on camera, and I know it'll be a forever record, and my sons could be able to go see, the vibe of their old man when I, what I'm saying, they get older, and I can show them I was cold. See, you just think I'm an old man, son, but let me show you. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm doing this for. So I'm not doing things to impress you. I'm not doing things to get a like or a wow or a reaction. I'm doing things because I want my sons to respect the game, the whole game, and appreciate the game and be able to see what it is with a 360 view perspective. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this podcast is about. It's not for everybody. It's for few. Keeping it real. Because I had one of my girls I was talking to, she told me I need to put some music on my podcast and all this, and I need to. I was like, baby girl, I ain't gonna do none of that. I'm gonna do just what I'm doing. Talking to the people and explaining who I am. And if anybody feeling it, they feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Chicago, stand up. Cats out there know who I am from Chicago. They act like they don't. Some of them. But man, my family been so influential in that town to this day, you know. So a lot of the things that I'm able to do, it ain't even about me. It's because I'm just living off the blessings of a legacy that I inherited. You did, and I not only appreciate it, but I recognize that. So when people see me, don't think I think I'm cold, because I don't. But I'm, you know, I'm cold enough. I'm cold enough. So, like I said, the Peep Game Show, WindyCityWord.com. Check me out right here, yo. And it's good to talk to the people. You did. Peace, love, and everything.